Hello from Hatton, midway on stage 7 of Sri Lanka's Pekoe Trail. Join me today to peek into the Pekoe stages 7 through 9. My morning started with a simple breakfast from my guest house and then retracing my steps back onto the trail. It didn't take too long until I spotted the familiar orange and white trail markers. It was raining this morning, but thankfully not too heavily. It was a little on and off throughout the day, much like my raincoat. Seriously, every time my raincoat was off, it rained, and the second I put it on, it stopped. From Hatton to the end of stage 7 in Norwood, it was mostly through small villages and on wide trails. Eventually the trail brought me out here into Norwood, where I treated myself to a well-deserved chicken fried rice at the Vivek Hotel. Oh, and of course, an ice cream for dessert. As stage 8 started, I got to see who the top local students were on a village honours board before getting back into some nice wide trails. I stopped at the viewpoint here. Afterwards, a combination of a lack of trail markers and a slight overconfidence in the way I needed to go had me retracing my steps about half a kilometer back up the mountain. After several long days of walking, I have to admit I was incredibly tempted to thumb a lift from the tractor and trailer passing by. Thankfully, the trail finally went through a small village where I was able to restock with some water. Shortly after, I passed another tea factory and recognised that very same tractor parked in the front yard. Eventually, the trail became a proper road, and then the map made it look like I needed to head straight through here. Despite the clear "Do Not Enter" signs on the door, the caretaker gave me a welcoming smile, so I walked right through, only to realise a little bit later that I was literally trespassing in someone's private garden. Sorry about that. I quickly got myself back outside and suddenly the actual trail on the left of the gate became much more obvious. A short journey down the road, and thankfully my hotel was located quite early on. I got to enjoy the lively tunes from the local wedding next door before enjoying a delicious, atmospheric, battery-lit dinner. The best part of the night though? Getting my clothes washed in an actual washing machine and not just giving them a quick slop around the bathroom sink. Stage 9 began with a very generous breakfast that I mostly packed up and took away with me to have for lunch later on. I headed down the main roads and into town, where I visited the ATM and hit a couple of local shops for supplies. The trail started by passing by this beautiful mosque here, before passing by, you guessed it, more tea factories. It was a nice wide trail going uphill at first, before narrowing down into some single track and requiring me to clamber over some of the massive rocks up there. From what I understood from the Pekoe Guide website, the land at the top of the climb is dairy country. I was fully expecting to see thousands of cows roaming along the hills, but I only ended up seeing a couple inside sheds and a few more on the road much later on. The terrain up here was a bit damp, but thankfully there were no leeches yet. I could easily imagine this section being less than forgiving if it were pouring rain. Eventually, the trail got me back on a road of sorts, passing through local farming villages. Towards the end of the stage, you walk through this absolutely amazing eucalyptus forest. But after admiring the incredible heights of the trees, I looked down to see I was being actively chased by another leech, with another one almost the size of a hare nearby. It turned out that while the leech had been mesmerising me, a few of its friends had already managed to hitch a ride on my shoes. Thankfully, they were all brushed off before any blood was drawn, but it indefinitely encouraged me to put a bit of a trot on to get out of the forest. After making it through the forest, the trail arrived at a village, followed by a road down and finally into the main town. From there, I phoned my guest house and the owner came to pick me up, leading me up yet another hill to their slightly hidden home. I was welcomed with hot tea and biscuits before relaxing, capping off the journey with a massive, delicious rice and curry dinner. If you found this peeking guide into the Pekoe Trail useful, give it a like and subscribe for future videos.